Hello everyone, this is Marco Gamez. Thank you for visiting our website at www.hotyogapuravida.com. And I'm sitting right next to Ling. She's going to represent us as our first Yogini of the month for the entire month of May. And it's an honor.
It's an honor for me.
So I'm just going to ask you some basic questions just so that the public out there kind of gets a feel for what we're doing here. And by the way, we're going to have Ling demonstrate some of the poses. You're a special case because she advanced dramatically in just 6 months, and you've been practicing for 6 months, right?
Yeah, last fall.
Okay. So, so I just want to say this, that when you see the poses that Ling does, make sure that you're not trying them at home. Make sure that you come to the studio so I can teach you how to do them. Make sure that you're prepared to do them, just to make sure that we're safe about it. But definitely we want to showcase what you've been able to achieve in such a short time. So, you know, we don't want to shortchange her just because it might intimidate somebody. That's not really what we're after. So let's get back to you. I just wanted to put that up. So you've been practicing for 6 months. Had you done yoga before you started practicing with me?
No. In fact, I do a lot of biking, mountain biking, and I've always wanted to try yoga because my legs are just not stretched out. Because cycling pretty much tends to shorten all your, you just work your legs, and your hamstrings just tighten up. So I've always wanted to try it. Finally, I got this opportunity, and I came to your studio. You guys had opened it up to some of my mountain bikers to do this really neat class, and of course I loved it right away.
Yeah, I remember that. We had a lot of fun with your mountain bike group.
Oh, I know.
So now, again, your practice advanced really fast, but you applied yourself a lot. I mean, when you're here at your business, you're not, oh, this hurts, that hurts. You go after it. You ever find something that you really, really love, and then you discover it, and it's just like, oh wow, somebody laid this out in front of you, and you can't, you're just like a sponge. You're like, okay, give me more. I love it. It's fun. She got the yoga bug. That's what we call it. But it's great though, because it's such a great way to stay healthy and strong. And I mean, aside from just advancing on the poses, how do you feel overall? Like generally, how do you feel?
I really feel good after I come from class, and I also have, it's just a whole series of things. You flush your mind, you flush your body, you flush. I mean, there's just a great, centering or balance inside yourself that I find, that I think really works for me. I always feel so much healthier after I come, and if I do it consistently, I feel very centered and very healthy. My body feels good.
And you know what? It's important to point out too that it's very personal. I mean, the way you describe it, someone else may describe it a little bit similar, but it's their own experience, and that's what's so cool about it. I think too is that it just becomes yours more than some sequence or whatever it is.
And I know when I'm in with it at the time. There's days that you may have that are not so good as others, but then your body really knows and starts to understand where it should be and how it should feel, and if it can go a little farther or if you can extend a little more. And I think that's where you start to advance, is when you can kind of like get tuned with what your body's doing. And I really, enjoy that.
That's cool. Thanks for saying that. So I'm gonna have Ling demonstrate some of the poses, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So go ahead and come into the lotus position first. And then just come into it on your own. So. Beautiful. Come back down. Nice. Under the legs. So just roll over to the side, and then come into peacock. Good for you. Come back down. Now take a short rest into child's pose. So just open up the knees, forehead to the floor. Just a couple of deep breaths. And then when you're ready, go ahead and set up for scorpion. Absolutely beautiful. Child's pose. Phaedra's saying wow behind the camera. Go ahead and come up. Stand all the way up. We're calling this pose hummingbird. We like the name, so we're gonna name it ourselves.
Would you like me to face that way? Or?
Yep. Maybe stand up and get her from top. Go ahead and come up. Good for you.
Fun.
Go ahead.
Fun.
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 You know what I love is that they nail it every time on just one time. Like we never do, more takes than just once. I mean, your concentration, your focus is amazing. Here's something I really want to point out is this is what Ling's doing in 6 months. And what's cool about it is that, I don't know if you realize this or not, but it's about having faith in one another and having faith that you'll be responsible, having faith that you'll take it on, that you'll embrace it and you'll take it on and make it yours. And that's how you're able to advance in just a short time. And so it's not even that the poses necessarily have to be impressive, but they become markers. They become your sort of your stage of, this is my expression with my body. This is how artistic I get to be, and this is how I get to not be limited, And so as long as we're safe and responsible about it, you can find discoveries and all sorts of things. So instead of, for me anyways, instead of taking you to a place where you do the same thing over and over and you never advance because of whatever reason, instead it's about, take it on, because your body may be able to do it, and why not teach you to do it so that you get more encouraged? I mean, how do you feel as far as having that freedom to come into these poses and advance? And when we're in class and someone else is doing something a little different, what do you think?
That's one thing that when we started this class, I didn't really know it. When I started yoga here, I had no idea what to expect. I figured it was basically the same things over and over. But I was really surprised when you took people and every class you did something different. And then you offered the ability for somebody that was more advanced to not showcase, but try something new or try something different. You would teach them a pose, single thing at a time. And me watching that, it was like, oh, I want to do that. I want to be able to do that. So I work, it's like a incentive. I want to work towards that. I want to be able to do that too.
It's inspiring versus being intimidating, and then you take it on yourself. I mean, you know.
Well, once I'm in a pose and I know I've got it, or I know I feel it's right, I can actually start to do things with it. Hold it a little longer, do something different with my legs, or just kind of make it my own. I guess is what you would say.
Absolutely, absolutely. To own it, and and the thing is that. It's about having fun with it, you know what I mean? And understanding that it's not always going to be textbook, and that it's not always going to be very precise, but just fun. That it is a healthy way of exercise, it is a more intelligent way of exercise because it becomes so in tune with what you're doing. But fun, it's got to be fun, otherwise.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I totally agree with that. It does, and I think it's fun. My body is able to do a lot of different things, but there's other things that I can't do. Like it's not as flexible yet because of the biking. I still don't have as much flexibility as I would like. So that's one thing that I'm working towards, okay, get my legs more flexible, be able to do things, And I like that these different poses allow some of that to happen for me naturally and have fun.
That's cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience, performing some of the poses for us. I'm sure the public out there is going to appreciate what you do because, you're taking the time to really put yourself out there. So thank you so much for that. It's an honor. And would you recommend my services to people?
Absolutely. I love this studio. I just love the way that you teach. I think it's really, you take people through it, and I think you leave a really lasting impression.
Thank you for saying that.
I think that what you do here is really, really good.
Thank you. It means the world to me. So you guys, thank you for visiting. Ling, Yogini of the month, and Phaedra behind the camera. I won't turn the camera around because she's upset about this sometimes. But we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for visiting. Adios.